swan is a bird of the fowl family, which also includes geese and ducks. This bird has a larger size than other members of this family and is considered one of the largest and most beautiful water birds in the world. Although one breed of swan has full black feathers and another breed has black feathers on the neck, but, in the general belief, this bird is remembered mostly for its white feathers. Swans are found in most parts of the northern hemisphere. Two species of this bird live in Australia and South America. They live and lay eggs in marshy areas and migrate to other areas with the coming and going of seasons. Iran is one of the regions where migratory swans spend their winters, and 3 species of swans migrate to the northern regions of Iran and other regions of the Middle East. These birds, like other members of the duck family, are herbivores and feed on aquatic plants. They sometimes eat small underwater creatures and rarely fish. Swans usually have only one mate in their lifetime and the rate of separation is very low. They choose a new mate only if their mate dies or they fail to lay eggs and hatch chicks. Swans are generally very calm and only become violent when intruders approach while tending to their chicks. These birds are territorial animals and defend their territory against potential invaders with all their might. For various reasons, including the loyalty of couples to each other or having a beautiful and dignified appearance, these birds have a special place in stories and legends all over the world. Since the distant past, this bird has been well known in the literature and art of the world, especially in Europe, and the white color of its feathers is a sign of its innocence and purity. Many legends of the people of the world around the swan have considered it related to the legend of creation and a sign of the gods. Swans are monogamous, they choose a partner at the age of 2, and mating between them can continue for years, and sometimes until the end of life. Scientists have given various reasons for the monogamy among geese and swans. One of these reasons is that by staying with his partner, the strong male can ensure that the strong female will get the fat nutrients needed for the mating season, and the male can have healthy offspring from his genes. Swans that live together for several years will have a more cooperative spirit, and this will increase the probability of better chickens. Another reason for monogamy among swans is that because swans often migrate and this migration takes a lot of energy from them, they need a large amount of food in certain seasons of the year and in a short period of time. To receive the fact that a female can have a male by her side all year round allows her to have more food-rich territories and feed and store food more easily by increasing her fooding dominance. Studies show that the rate of fidelity to a spouse among swans and geese is 92 to 100% of all matings. However, separation is also seen among them, which sometimes occurs as a result of failure to lay eggs. Among the lesser swans, no cases of separation of couples have been observed, and the separation rate among the hooper and mute swans is 0.7% and 5.8%, respectively. Homosexual and transsexual behaviors are also seen among swans, especially the mute swan and the black swan. Some male black swans establish stable and long-term relationships. They contribute to the stability of their bond by performing shows in front of each other. Homosexual couples get the eggs they need in 2 ways, either they mate with a female for a short time and make a nest with her, and then throw her out after she lays eggs, or they take over a strong heterosexual pair from their nest and take care of its eggs. Same-sex couples are also good parents, and since the 2 males are more physically capable, they cover a larger portion of the watershed under their territory and provide more food for their chicks. The success consider a range of their surroundings and their family as their territory, and if this territory is broken, they attack animals and even boats by opening their feathers and moving quickly towards the attacker. Contrary to popular belief, swans do not have the ability to harm with their mouths or their feet, and only their wings are capable of driving back an attacker by giving them a hard blow. These strikes have not caused any danger to humans so far, and few examples of human injuries from encounters with angry swans include a broken arm of the attacker. Territorial behavior is seen in all white swans, and the size of the territory can be small or large depending on the type of swan, but it often includes a wide area from the water's edge around the nesting site of the couple. The approximate distance between 2 spawning nests in the rivers around Oxford is 2.4 to 3.2 kilometers, and the lowest recorded distance was 90 meters. The white color of swans, which makes them easy to spot from a distance, helps a pair of swans mark their territory. Southern hemisphere swans are not territorial like their white counterparts in the northern hemisphere. Black swans live in large groups and their nests are often no more than 1 meter apart. Studies show that the emergence of territorial behaviors are dependent on local differences in the amount of insects and plants, so that while northern hemisphere swans needed to raise their children as quickly as possible in order to prepare them for the harsh winter seasons, southern hemisphere swans, and especially the black swan, depended on aquatic plants that regenerated with each rise and fall of the rivers, so a small area was enough to feed several families of swans. The lifespan of swans can reach more than 20 years. After choosing a mate, they determine a territory for their nest in swampy areas, and the male bird defends it if needed. Swans build their eggs in a nest approximately 1 meter long on land and next to water. The female lays 4 to 6 white eggs and sleeps on them alone until the chicks are born. Unlike ducks and geese, the male helps the female build the nest. Also, male swans help their mate in keeping eggs and raising chicks. After being born, the chicks need 70 to 80 days of care from their parents and then they can fly by themselves. As children, they sit on their parents' backs while they swim in the water. This behavior is especially seen in black-necked swans, but less so in black swans. Both the male and female strong carry the children on their backs, but the role of the mother strong is greater. The most common cause of death of swans is their contact with objects made by humans, which constitutes 26% of their total deaths. This issue is problematic for swans because their large size and heavy weight make them unable to immediately reduce their speed when they fly at a speed of 50 to 80 km per hour and collide with cars and high-voltage power lines. On the other hand, their vision ability is average and they cannot see the thin wires of power lines. Swans can fall victim to diseases common among birds, including bird flu. Other human activities and environmental pollution are among the threats to swans. Oil wastes kill hundreds of swans every year either by poisoning due to eating oil and its derivatives or by damaging their ability to fly and the waterproofness of their feathers. Once the oil reaches the swan's feathers, it can easily reach the surface of the body, which never comes into contact with water, and make the animal sick. Death due to poisoning with a high amount of lead is also one of the other cases that affect the human activities of swans. In these cases, swans are poisoned by unknowingly eating lead weights from fishing hooks, which are used to weigh them down in the water, or by living in water contaminated by mining waste. In a survey conducted in 1994, the number of 10,000 killed by this agent was identified in 14 countries of the world. When lead enters the swan's body and is absorbed, it immediately causes disruption in the neuromuscular system. Infected swans develop soft muscles and their necks become bent and knotted. At this time, the ability of the neck muscles to push food into the stomach weakens, and the swan dies of hunger after a while with a neck full of food and an empty stomach. The natural enemies of swans are raccoon, fox, water otter, coyote and dogs, which attack the nest when they are alone, eat and steal the eggs and chicks.